Is Harry the wild card in the royal family? A rich young man with a playboy image? Or the screwed-up kid who still misses his mother and mixes in bad circles?
Tony Holdsworth and Peter Syed wanted to come forward. This could be an interesting...
There are signs that he does take his charitable interests seriously. At polo, he was seen displaying his Lesotho souvenir bracelet to his teammates.
Despite the criticism of his sub-Diana type approach to his charitable work, I think he does genuinely take an interest in the dispossessed in the way that his mother did. I think he is aware that there are people less fortunate than himself. I think he would like to make a difference. However, he wants to be able to have a good time himself. I mean, I think one of his most attractive qualities is that he's not stuffy. He's not like the majority of the royal family, hidebound by tradition and protocol. He's a bit of a free spirit, and I think that's very attractive, and I think it comes out well. I think that's the reason why he's popular in this country.
Close observers have noticed that Harry wears a certain faded polo shirt when playing for his father's team.
Harry and William and Prince Charles have a polo team, the Highgrove polo team, and they have red and purple shirts. And Harry has a particular shirt that he likes because every time he's worn it, they've won. And it's very washed out and sort of ragged looking, but that's what he likes to do. He thinks it's a lucky shirt, so he always wears it. And Harry has it hanging out. When you see Harry on the polo field, he looks smart because he's so tall, but he's always got something little bit of trendiness about him. He's not nearly as good looking as William, but he is sexy and he's attractive because you can see the fun in him.
As in most other things, the brothers have a different approach to polo. It could almost be a metaphor for their differences in personality.
Harry is totally fearless, almost reckless, just gallops into the fray. But William sort of hangs back and is more cautious. But their polo manager said to me that William thinks about the game more. So really it ends up that they're both sort of fairly equal when it comes to their ranking on the polo field.
The royal family operates a ranking procedure among its members. Harry's occasional arrogance might be a cover for feelings of insecurity.
Harry's always felt second best. The Queen Mother in particular, if the boys walked into the room, she'd say, "William, come and sit here." And William would be next to the Queen Mother and Harry would just be forgotten. And in order to compensate for that feeling of being second best, he's become more boisterous, better at sport, funnier, naughtier.
Harry is very much his own person, easier going than the more self-contained William. He gets on well with cousins Beatrice and Eugenie and Peter and Zara Phillips.
He's much more open and accessible than William. If we want to deal with William, we have to go through intermediaries. With Harry, you can say, "Oh, look, Harry, could you just do this?" And he'll go, "Oh, all right then," you know, or "I'll think about it," or you can deal directly with Harry. And sometimes I've noticed at the polo, when the game's finished and we're all filing stories, Harry will come over and sit down on the grass beside you and watch everybody filing, and nobody, you know, annoys him or hassles him or says anything to him, and he's just easygoing. Whereas William is very uptight, very private, very wary of the media.
There is very little to separate William and Harry except this one. The one distinction between them is William's ability to keep his life private and out of the headlines. He learnt that from an early age, I think because he was that much older when his parents were going through their terrible times in the 1990s. He resolved not to allow his life to become tabloid fodder, if you like, in the way that his mothers and fathers had.
Charles has been blamed for Harry's frequent misdemeanours. Has he really neglected his parental duties?
Prince Charles isn't the strongest of parents, and he's always said, you know, anything for a peaceful life, what can I do? But I think that when the ground rules should have been laid with William and Harry was the time that Charles and Diana were having terrible problems within their marriage, and I think it's too late now.
I think he could have had a lot more guidance, especially from his father. He has veered off the rails because he hasn't had the father figure there all the time when he's needed him.
Harry's misbehaviour needs to be curbed if he's to develop into a reliable support for Charles and William in their time as kings. The omens have not been good. How can he be turned around?
I think there is enough resource within the royal family and probably somewhere deep within Harry that will pull him back. I don't think he's going to run off and become a dissolute young man. I think he will be brought back, and I think it'll be the army that does it to him. I think it'll instill the discipline that at the moment he lacks.
These are the sons of a flawed father and a fated mother. William is preparing himself for his destiny as king. But does a fault line run through Harry's personality? Only time will tell.